I saw your Twitter video reacting to Irvin talking about the Cowboys, Nate. What goes through your mind? What were you doing during that video? What were you thinking when Irvin goes off on America's team?
Well, listen, when Irv gets into Irv mode, there's one or two things you're going to want to do. You're either going to want to run through a brick wall, which is majority of the time. And then there's times where you just want to give him the people's eyebrow, and you're like, here he go again. You know, Irv will get you going and telling you that, listen, if you give everybody what they need, then you don't need to give everybody what they, Irv does it.
His sayings.
So that's my dog. I actually saw him yesterday, gave him a big hug and told him, thank you for leading the way for guys like me. But you know what's crazy? With all that said, and everybody cracking jokes and saying, it's a wrap for the Cowboys. Irv was right. Once again, he was right.
How have you felt as a receiver? You guys are kind of like, the new running back of being devalued, at least in Kansas City, not with contracts, but Kansas City and Green Bay and the Cowboys did this with Amari. They're not going to fall off. It's not going to be a problem if you lose Devontae. It's not going to be a problem if you lose Tyreek Hill. Were you in the pro receiver camp or the pro quarterback camp in terms of that effect in this offseason?
What you think, man? Of course I was with the pro receivers. Listen, I want, first and foremost, I want every player to get paid, right? But as a wide receiver, I want us to break the bank too. Now, do I get it? On the flip side of things, what it's like to be hamstrung by a top player that might not necessarily have a true impact on the success of your team, especially in the postseason. But that's the game, right? I mean, the NFL is making so much money that you have to pay. And let's just keep it real. Overpay guys. I don't care if it's a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, DN, interior lineman, or cornerback. You just got to break the bank sometimes. And for a wide receiver to go out there and be the best, yeah, you might be paying him for what you hope he can do. But you know how this league is. Sometimes you're paying them for what they have done. And it's rare you get a wide receiver that has these great years and he doesn't follow it up with a few years after that. You know, it's not like running back where, you can have a dominant back, Pam, and then there's a significant drop-off due to maybe the tread on the tires not being as strong or a few injuries or just slowing down with age. Wide receivers, especially the way the game is played, where we're protected, we don't take shots as much as we used to, they can maintain that level of play a little bit longer than most positions.
Your thoughts on CeeDee Lamb, Dak, and the Cowboys passing game?
Now, I would love it to be more explosive. First let me say Cooper Rush did his damn thing. So
yeah.
The offense looked good. You got to give him credit. If he could hold down the fort till Dak gets back, this could be a season that doesn't seem lost because a lot of people that rocking with the Cowboys were wondering what was going on with the squad over the last week or so. But with that said, I would love to see it more explosive. Of course, having Gallup back on the field is going to help, because he's such a big part of the flow and the chemistry. But CeeDee Lamb is a beast. He has it all. He can run routes with the best of them, big catch radius, smooth in and out of his transitions. He hasn't had that breakout moment where everybody kind of nods their head this season and says, okay, we're good without Coop. This is his team now. And it doesn't happen overnight. That's what I want fans to understand. We think, game one, he's gonna put up 188 yards and 2 TDs, and this is going to be as smooth as can be. No. It takes time for somebody to step into that role, and then the offense to trust that receiver in that number one role.
Is there an AFC title contender other than Buffalo and Kansas City?
Have you seen the Miami Dolphins?
Uh-huh.
Just saying, man. Listen, there's a ton of teams I think that actually have a shot, but the Miami Dolphins, they look good. The defense is flying around. I mean, Tua he's in his bag. He looks stronger. All that conversation about, can he get the ball to Tyreek Hill down? Man, he can get the ball to Tyreek and he can get it to Waddle. Pick your poison when it comes to that offense. And they have a good head coach whose demeanor, I think, works well with this squad. people look at Mike McDaniel and they say, oh, man, he's so casual and chill. He cracks jokes. He's a little bit of a character. That looseness is a reflection of how that team is playing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, don't sleep on the Dolphins.
Nate Burleson here on 105 through the Fan. Are you buying Jalen Hurts and the Eagles as contenders?
I am. I look at Jalen and the way that he's taking care of the ball. And they haven't even really tapped into how good this wide receiver group could be. You know, with the Slim Reaper, Devontae Smith, and A.J. Brown. But, you know, that game was impressive, especially the first part where you're looking at Jalen just literally dime after dime. We're talking 6 for 6, 7 for 7, 8 for 8, 9 for 9. Like, that's efficiency, which I think it comes with growth, right? We knew that he was athletic. We knew he had a strong arm. We knew he had great leadership qualities. But there were all these moments where the competitor got the best of him and he was trying to do too much. It takes times for quarterbacks to scale back and say, all right, live to play another down. I don't have to force the ball in here. We can punt it, get the ball back, and then, you know, score a touchdown or kick a field goal. You can see he's thinking about all of these things, which makes him a really good QB. Yeah, I'm buying.
Last one. Rank the popularity, the Q rating of being Nate Burleson, NFL player, NFL Network, CBS This Morning, Nickelodeon. If you're walking on the street and 10 people recognize you, how would you break those down?
That is a really good question. Well, when I played, of course, it was all about football.
Sure.
It was, hey, Nate, that is you, man. Hey, thank you, man. You know, you helped me win my fantasy league when you was playing for the Vikings. And I'm like, oh, thanks. And then they follow with, well, how you crash your car trying to save a pizza, man? You ruined my year. To get that a lot. But now, man, I was in Paris walking down the street and somebody does the snap with the point, hey. And usually it's followed by something about football or maybe even NFL Network. Now they're like, Gail King. And I'm like, yeah.
Gail King.
Yeah, don't even say my name or the name of the show. They're just like, Gail King. So now people do recognize me for being on the morning news. That type of exposure, it's different. It is much different. I would have to go with CBS Mornings.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations. We knew it was stock up when we had you at the Super Bowl a few years ago, and keep killing it. Thank you, Nate.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.